All right, a little cooking tutorial for pierogi. So just to show you how we make them here at our house. You boil the water, bring it to a nice boil, not too bubbly. You don't want them bouncing around too much. So you get your frozen one. I'm just gonna do 3 because that's what I have. They're frozen, like straight out of the box that you got. So I'm gonna go ahead and place them in the pan. Here you go. They are now at the bottom of the pan. So you just wanna make sure that they don't get stuck to the pan. You wanna make sure that they float up once they start getting heated through. So give them a little nudge, gentle nudge. And so I have the heat on medium. These pans don't like high heat, so I cook it on medium. Now I'm gonna let them boil for about 5 to 6 minutes to make sure that they're heated through, especially the beef. And once again, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that they're not sticking to the bottom or each other. And I'm just gonna let them cook for a few minutes. So while these are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and take my frying pan and put a little bit of ghee on it. I like to cook them in ghee, but you can use olive oil or butter, whatever your preference. We used to fry them in butter. I now switched over to ghee. I really like clarified butter for these guys. But any of those options is okay. Floating up top, you can see these are sauerkraut ones, so they're dark on the inside and they're becoming translucent, so you can see the filling inside. Your beef ones might look very similar to that. The farmer's cheese and potato and the cheddar cheese and potato are gonna be a lighter on the inside. So see how they're floating close to the top? That's good. I'm gonna give them just a smidge more. You don't want to overcook them. You don't want them to start opening up and losing the dough around them. So you don't want to overcook them. All right, so I think these guys are done. Go ahead and move them off the heat. Put them on a plate. I'll show you what I do. I drain as much water as possible off of them before I put them on the plate. So they look nice and cooked. They're pretty translucent, but they're not overcooked. None of the filling is coming out. But before I put them on the frying pan, I like to give them a little pat, pat, to take all the excess water off of them. You can eat them like this. You don't have to fry them, but I recommend that you do. I like them fried. So you pat the excess water off before you put them on the frying pan. You don't want them to be wet on the frying pan. A little water off the plate, little water off the pierogi. There you go. I'm gonna put my pan on. I'm gonna turn it on. Medium or less, because you don't want them to be in such high heat that they burn instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and melt the ghee. I'm going to make sure that it's hot enough, which it's getting hot real quick. You can see I'm just gonna get these guys. Oh, I'm gonna give it a sec. Once I hear that it's sizzling. There you go. Hello. Woo. There they are. I'm just gonna give them a nice little fry. Want to make sure you move them around so they don't get stuck to the pan. Move that ghee around so they're not getting stuck and leaving the dough on the pan and then all the fillings coming out. So you just want to make sure that they're nice and loose on the pan. Give them a nice fry. A few minutes on each side, couple minutes on each side so they get nice and golden. And flip them over and do the same thing on the other side. Too high. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. But you can go deeper. That's pretty light. You can go a little bit deeper. And that's okay. You can eat them boiled or fried. I prefer fried, but it's entirely up to your liking. And again, you can fry them lighter, or you can give them a slightly deeper golden fry. Now they're ready to be served. Sprinkle a little Maggi. Voila.